If you're working on breaking old patterns, learning to honor your needs, you are in the right place. So many of us were taught to take care of everyone else before ourselves. What could be wrong with that? The problem is when we start putting everyone else first before ourselves, we actually lose sight of how much all those yeses are costing us. So let's talk about boundaries and people pleasing, especially when we have chronic pain or chronic illness. Today we are working on a practice that's part of the peace practice. It's the C for connection with love and boundaries. Very important part of healing. Setting loving boundaries. All of these peace practice videos can stand alone, so you don't have to watch them in any special order. You can watch the ones that you need at that time. I will link the list below. Let me mention, for anybody that wants to go a little deeper with their practice, with their chronic pain, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation and dig a little deeper, right now I am offering a few free spots for 20 minutes. I'll go ahead and put the link below in case you think you might be interested. Have you ever noticed how fast you say yes before you even check with your body? If someone asks you for a favor, if they ask you to help them with something, whatever it is, they ask you to go somewhere with them, before you even check in to see if that works for you, or even look at your calendar. A lot of times as a people pleaser, we just automatically say yes because we don't want to upset the other person, and we don't want them to feel any more worry about whatever they're asking for help with. We want them to have their problem solved. We need to start giving that same dedication to ourselves. We need to check in with ourselves before we just blurt out, "Sure, I'll do that," when you really want to say, "I'd really like to, I'm not up to it," or "It's not going to work out for today." You really don't have to get too specific.
You're watching Rediscovering Joy with Lauren. Welcome.
A lot of us learn to keep the peace, to avoid the conflict, to make sure nobody gets upset. But every time we say yes to someone else, we could be saying no to ourselves. Think about that. When we say yes to others, we're usually saying no to us. Every time we say yes, when we really need rest, we're saying no to ourselves. We are actually abandoning ourselves. So what do? How can we help ourselves not be such people pleasers? How can we put ourselves first? You might be thinking. Well, I'm glad you asked. One of the biggest ways that I felt a shift in leaving that people-pleasing mentality is anytime someone would ask me to do something, or to go with them, to do a favor, whatever it was, if I knew that I really couldn't do it, my first instinct, of course, would be, sure, I'll make it work. However, what I've started to do is pause. And it sounds so simple, right? But that pause is going to allow you to not sabotage yourself. That pause is going to give you an opportunity to really think about if that works for you, if you're up to it, if you don't have something that conflicts with it, and if you really want to do it. And at that point, you can give an honest, real answer that's authentic for you. And it's not something that can happen. Well, I guess it could, but it's not usually something that can change overnight, because we have learned to be people pleasers from when we're really little. We're growing up. We learn what gets good reactions and negative reactions. And a lot of times we learn how to keep the peace. And unfortunately, a lot of those behaviors that we might have adapted when we were little to keep the peace, they kind of contributed to being an adult people pleaser. They kind of contributed to being an adult people pleaser. It's kind of our way of avoiding the conflict, because that's scary and uncomfortable. We want to be safe as human beings. We naturally want to be in safety. We instinctively people please, thinking that's the way, when it's so not the way. It's actually hurting us. I want you to feel what it's like to take this pause. So I'm going to ask you, if you feel called to do so, to go ahead and try this with me. So we're going to just make sure we're comfortable. Take a nice breath. We're going to just take a moment. Close your eyes and inhale slowly. Slow down your breath. Feel your shoulders drop on your exhale. Rest your hands on your heart and your belly and just pause. Feel what's happening inside your body. Are there any parts that are sending you a message? Is there somewhere that needs your attention? This is your pause. This is your lovely pause. And this is where you can decide if your answer is going to be yes or no. It's tremendous what you will feel from honoring your own needs first. We're not trying to push anybody away. With these boundaries, it promotes healthy connection, right? So we can look at boundaries more as a bridge than a wall. They're helping with a better connection instead of one that you keep saying yes, but that resentment is building. Not only are we self-abandoning when we keep saying yes, we're also building resentment. We may not know it, but one day, even if it's something small, comes up that you don't want to do, and you will probably reach a point where you just can't take it anymore. And the resentment just builds up so much that it becomes a bigger event than it needs to be. And that could actually hurt the relationship. By setting boundaries, you are helping your relationship to be stronger and healthy. And you are really respecting you. They really help us stay connected without losing ourselves. You could say something as simple as, I really want to help, but I just can't today. Or maybe, I care about you and I'd love to help, but I really can't today. No explanations, no apologies, no justifying. Are you ready to do that? I know you are. Let me know how it goes when you do that for the first time and you take a pause. I would love to hear how it feels and how it goes. I've had many relationships where I've given and given and given because I didn't want to lose the relationship no matter what. And I didn't want the other person to be upset or to be burdened. And sometimes I would even walk on eggshells, which that's the worst feeling. No one ever wants to have to walk on eggshells. And it's so unhealthy. How can you be yourself if you're walking on eggshells? Because what that really means is you're thinking of every word that comes out of your mouth while you're talking to someone close to you. But finally, you know what happened? My body told the truth. My body said no. My body started showing me that I need to change. I cannot keep extending myself, not considering what it would mean for me afterwards. I would be on the phone with someone and I would want to hang up for so long. I just was not feeling well, right? When we have chronic illness or chronic pain, there's times where we are just too wiped out. Whatever the reason is, we are just not up to staying on the phone. But I wouldn't speak up. I would not say anything because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. And I knew if something was bothering them, they needed to get it off their chest. And I guess I felt it had to be me that they told. So I would stay on the phone and stay on the phone. And sometimes my family would be starting dinner and I would stay on the phone and hang up and feel wiped out, as you would imagine. Can you relate to that? Yeah, it's very frustrating. You know that you abandon yourself. You know at that point when you hang up and feel like crap that you should have hung up a long time ago. So why don't we make a promise to ourselves that we will listen to that signal? We will listen when our body is saying, hello, hello, get off the phone, you need a break. And we'll listen to that voice and get off the phone. I think it'll feel really good. Actually, I know it will because I've done it and it's so much better and it feels so good and you will feel so much more in control of your life. When you feel depleted after every interaction, guess what? That's a message, my friend. You are overextending. And it's a message that you need to slow that down. Our bodies are very smart. And when they give us those signals, like the pain we get, or feeling exhausted, or whatever your symptom is, it's a message. It's for a reason. It's not out of nowhere. That is information from your body for you. And that means to listen. So today we're starting to pause before you answer. Check in with yourself. Feel your body. Feel what your body is telling you. And not just feel it, but honor it. Honor what your body is saying. If it's saying we need rest, we need rest. If it's saying we need food, we need to eat. If it's saying we need to go outside and sit in the fresh air, that's for a reason. And it's time to go outside and sit in the fresh air. This is your intuition. This is your messaging system. And if you keep listening to it, it's something that I've learned we can get better and better at the more we do it. Honoring what your body tells you. So we're going to take a pause and we're going to honor what we hear. If you feel like this video helped you talking about ways to connect with boundaries and love, I will link a video that's also in the peace practice for you right here, right there. That's the video that's also in the peace practice that I think you'll really like. So check it out, because if you like this one, you're going to love that one. Sending so much love and healing light. Namaste.